president of the university, and I had an appointment and, sit down with him, and I said to him, how can this possibly be? But he could not see it. And he said, no, I had to abide by the rules. And I thought that was the dumbest thing that I ever heard and the most stupid thing I ever heard in my life. And that was the beginning for me of an eye-opener of everybody who has degrees is not smart. That was the first time that lesson I saw right there. Okay, so at any case, what to do now? Because now I'm stuck. I can't fulfill my dream. Boredom set in. And what I did was I used to go exploring, walking on the time when they allowed you to be up. And one day walking across fields, I saw horses.
Horses?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the horses were on their farm that they owned. And they had, I didn't know at the time, because you see, I've always wanted to ride horses. Because when I was a kid down in the South, I used to think, when I heard that this territory in Georgia where I was, this used to be the home of the Cherokees. Yeah, okay, and I used to read, like I told you, all the time.
Right.
And so what kind of novels did I read about? The Indians and all like that. And I used to try to act like an Indian. I wouldn't eat for days, I wouldn't. And I'd tighten my belt and all like that and walk in a straight line, because that's how Indians used to do. And that's how they could tell the white man from the Indian who had passed. And so I used to try to walk in a straight line. Interesting to me because years later, that's how models walked. That's how they did. But in any case, I'd always wanted to ride horses.
Okay.
And I could just see myself shooting arrows and all that kind of stuff, riding bareback. And as I looked across the field, there were these horses.
Okay.
And they turned out to be Tennessee
Wow,
horses.
okay.
And that's among the,
Fancy.
Yeah, that's among the highest level, or whatever, however you want to classify them. So I began to walk across the fields every day, because I, talked to the guys who were there, the men who were there, and talked to the stable manager who was there, and asked their permission. They said yes, they would teach me how to ride and everything. And so I learned how to ride.
Okay.
And I used to travel with them sometimes. They went to other farms to deal with, the horses and everything. And when I disappeared from the campus activities, then all the guys, well, I shouldn't say all, but a goodly number of them wanted to know where had I gone? Where had I disappeared to?
Okay.
And I told them about the horses. And when I did that, they all went, wow, where, when do you go? Can we come here? Yeah, you can come, why not? So I used to be, it occurred to me, oh my gosh, I'll become a Peter Pan. Not a Peter Pan, what's his name? The Pied Piper, the fellow who played the flute and let all the rats out of the town. Anyway, I became that.
Who was that?
He's a storyteller, fictional character.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's I think it was a Pied Piper.
Okay.
Yes, Cal confirms.
Okay.
So I became a Pied Piper.
The children out of
Huh?
He also took the kids.
Yes, he took the children with him too.
Okay.
But in any case, might as well. I took the boys with me, so they were children. No, but we all had the same interests, you understand.
Right, yeah.
And everybody thought all kinds of things which were not true, and you know what I'm saying? But there I was once again. And so I went first, the boys followed, and when the boys followed, then the girls wanted to know where the boys were going. And the next thing I know, the girls were down there, and the next thing I know, whenever I walked down there to go ride, I couldn't ride because all these girls were on the horses. I couldn't ride when I wanted to ride. So I said, oh my goodness, this will never do. So I talked to the stable manager, and I suggested to him, I asked him, had he ever thought about making equestrian studies, incorporating that with the physical education department. Okay.
Okay.
And he did. And as a result of that, I regulated when the girls could be there and when they couldn't, so I could ride whenever.
some structure here.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
but that's actually really what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not finish Tennessee State University
Okay.
because I came home on vacation my third year,
Mm-hmm.
met my husband,
Okay.
and he said he's marrying me.
Okay.
I'm not going back to school.
That's back in Harlem?
No.
Where were you? Where
My
was home?
mother had, interesting you asked.
Mhm.
My mother had while I was in college, she had moved to New Jersey.
New Jersey, okay.
And that was like the sticks.
Mm.
That was like a foreign place.
Okay.
You know, hated it.
So that's where you met your husband.
Yes,
Y'all got married.
Yes.
And
I
his
didn't go
name?
back to school.
Okay.
His name is Clarence Coggins.
Okay. Clarence.
Clarence
Mhm.
Coggins. Who's a brilliant man.
Mm, okay.
He was a social activist.
Mm.
And many of the things which you see now
Mm-hmm.
in America came from his thought,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
Including the gardens.
The gardens?
The garden,
Okay,
yes, because it was his concept
Mm-hmm.
that there should be community gardens
Okay.
in the city,
Mm.
okay?
Okay.
And he started that initiative in Newark,
Mm.
New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And so it came to be, he developed it, okay?
Okay.
In the inner city.
Mm.
I'm talking about, okay, in
Okay.
the inner city.
Mm.
Because he was a political activist, you understand.
Okay.
And he did so successfly.
Mm.
And of course, it attracted the attention of Rutgers University.
Mm.
And in no time at all, before you know it, okay, this is when Ken Gibson was the mayor of Newark.
Mhm.
But in no time at all, before you know it, it was Rutgers' thing, and Rutgers, such is life, as
Yeah.
always, a familiar
Oh, yeah.
story.
Okay.
A
Okay.
familiar story. But that was my husband who actually started that
Okay.
in the inner city.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
The thing that you see, tenants' rights,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that was the brainchild of my husband and two of his other closest friends who were also political activists,
Mm.
as he worked with a man by the name of Jesse Gray.
Mm.
And Jesse Gray and his wife Maxine and myself and my husband and Gil, I'm forgetting Gil's last name, but that we came together and we used to knock on doors in
Mhm.
Harlem,
Mhm.
apartment doors, and the idea was that tenants had rights too.
Okay. Okay.
And also it was to correct the horrendous conditions in which people lived,
Okay.
including rats and roaches and all that kind of stuff like that. And so we had, in addition to petitions, which are good.
Okay.
Not saying they're not
Mm-hmm.
valuable, but in addition to petitions, we also staged all kinds of protests, including one where the captured rats were taken down to City Hall and, of course, dumped on the desk. Okay, of course I didn't go on that one.
Okay.
I didn't go on that one because I'm scared of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
So, quickly through it all,
Mhm.
I had 2 children, one of each. I thought, interesting experiment.
Okay.
Was it true differences between development of males and development of females?
Mhm.
Which one is really smarter? Which one learns for, that kind of thing? Oh, interesting,
Mhm. So tell me about
It's true.
about the career.
My career?
What?
My career?
Yeah.
I had a very,
When you got married, what were you and your husband doing to make a living?
he was an organizer.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a labor organizer.
Labor organizer.
Absolutely,
Okay, okay.
absolutely. He
Okay.
was a labor organizer.
Okay.
And of course, after I got married a year later, I had, my first child.
Okay.
So I didn't, and I hadn't finished school. Remember, I had only gone 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I labored at various jobs.
Okay.
I worked one time actually in a laundry,
Mm.
a commercial laundry.
Mhm.
I worked in the storage department.
Okay.
And, the cold storage,
Okay.
I did that. And I took on, because I was a fast typist,
Mm-hmm.
I took on various jobs there in that capacity.
Okay.
But my husband always thought I had a lot of talents
Mhm.
that had not yet been explored, utilized. But anyway, bottom line is, I did a number of things
Okay.
there of no significance because I was never satisfied with anything.
Mhm.
But at one time I actually took a job where you got paid for how many words that you could type.
Okay.
And he challenged me. And I took that job and made so much money in a week, it was ridiculous.
Really? Okay.
Yes, I mean, I shocked myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I did, you
Mhm.
know. But in any case,
And your children? A boy and a girl.
well, I thought you wanted to know about my career.
Their names?
My
I thought you
children's
just
names,
told me a little
okay.
bit about your career, but I
No,
don't
I
want
haven't.
I
That's
don't
just
want to forget your
beginning.
children.
No, we shan't.
Okay.
Who could? I have two interesting children,
Okay.
being one of each in the first place, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's name is Agatha,
Okay.
as is mine,
Right.
because my husband was enamored with my name,
Mm.
and other things too, but
Mhm.
with my name. And because, well, the first child was a boy.
Okay.
And of course, because, you know, he was, what, maybe 20 years older than me, you know, whatever, I don't know.
Mhm.
But he'd never had any children before.
Okay.
So of course I should honor him
Mhm.
by naming him. So my son is named after his father,
Gotcha.
except my son has an interesting middle name. His name is Clarence No Man.
No man.
Minnie. No, not Minnie, what am I talking about, my mother's name? Minor. Minor.
Okay.
Cousins. Why?
Mm.
Clarence after his father. No Man from Ulysses.
Okay.
From Ulysses.
Mm.
You remember the Cyclops?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
And the Cyclops inquired who was that who had put out his eye?
Mm-hmm.
And the reply was,
No way.
no man.
Okay.
So of course, because my husband was a political activist and, you know, and all of that,
Okay.
then our aspirations for the boy was that he too would become a political activist.